Hey, this is Daniel at Flint Service Company. We're in end of February and we're going to talk about air condition maintenance. It's been 70 degrees last couple of days. So just a lot of questions on customers is what we do on an air condition maintenance. So I'm going to just kind of walk you through the steps. So first thing we're going to do is the condenser coils that's on this unit. We're going to clean them and clean the outdoor unit and get the just the dirt and road grime off of it. I've already done this one. The next thing we do is we take the control panel off. We're going to check this particular unit here has a run capacitor for the fan motor, has a start capacitor for the compressors, and has another run capacitor for the compressor. And we're actually going to check the microfarad reading on each one of those and compare it to the factory ratings, plus or minus 10%. So anything different, that capacitor would need to be replaced. This particular unit here has two sets of contactors on it. We're also going to check the contacts on each one of these, making sure they're not burnt or pitted, and then recommend replacing if needed. Then on this unit we also have a control board here. We have thermostat connections down on the bottom. We're going to check all those connections, make sure no wiring has been damaged or rubbed or loose. We're also going to clean out spider webs and all the bugs that hibernate in these things through the winter time. Those spider webs do and can cause problems on the units. The next thing we're also going to do while we're cleaning the coils is we're going to take the fan motor, the fan top off of this unit. We're going to clean out all the leaves and debris that builds up in these things in the fall time. And we'll come back to this unit here in just a minute. Alright, so we've got up underneath the house looking at the air handler unit. So the things we're going to check under here is the blower cage right here. Underneath here, there's a blower wheel, so we're going to check, make sure the dirt, debris, or any pieces of paper, any kind of debris is caught up in that blower wheel, and clean that out. We're also going to check up here the thermostat connections, making sure all these wire nuts are tight and nothing's falling off and all the connections here are tight. Then we're going to check the, this is a transformer. We have a control board that controls the motor. We also have the main breaker for the unit. We're going to check the high voltage connections, making sure nothing's getting loose or damaged there. We're also going to check the voltage and the amperage. This unit doesn't have a capacitor on the fan motor, but most do, so we'll also check that capacitor. Then the other thing we're going to do is making sure there's no mildew and things that's built up over time on the insulation down here on the bottom or the top. A lot of times you'll see mildew and dirt and debris built up on this wiring, so we'll clean that off also. The next thing we're going to do is on this particular unit I have an external April air filter, so we're going to pull that off, and this filter does need changing, but I'll do that another day. While I pull a filter out on this one, the evaporator coil is behind this compartment. When I pull this filter out, I can see that coil. So if it's an accessible coil, we're going to clean that coil up real good, make sure it's clean. But with an April air filter, you never have to clean that coil. This unit's 12 years old. I've never had to clean that coil. The last thing we're going to do while we're underneath the house is the drain line that comes off. We're going to disconnect it using compressed air, and we're going to blow through it and clean that drain line up. This unit doesn't have one, but a lot of units will have a condensate pump down here that pumps the moisture out of the system. We will also clean that condensate pump. Alright, so we've checked out the indoor air handler. We've also checked all the capacitors, contactors here on the outdoor unit. So the last thing we're going to do is we'll cut everything on, let it run about 15-20 minutes. We're going to hook a amp probe up to the main wires coming into the unit. We're going to look at the amperage on this. This unit here is running at 3.2 amps. That gives us a little more indication of the condition of the compressor and the outdoor fan motor. I've also hooked my refrigerant gauges up to it. This is a R22 system. And I've also hooked up my superheat kit. I've got line temperatures on the liquid line and the suction line. And I've got both of my lines hooked up on my gauge manifold. All these units now will come with a factory recommended charge. and that's what we will go by. This particular American Standard unit is required to be set at 11 degrees subcooling. So that's just the difference of using the high pressure side and a temperature probe on the liquid line, and we do a little math to come up with that. You heard the click. This is a 2-stage unit, so it's getting ready to go into second gear. That's the basic steps that we go through on the maintenance. Every unit's just a little bit different, so we kind of tailor it to your specific system. So what you're looking at as far as the cost, we're going to do a special up through the end of March. What we're going to do is an $85 maintenance for one system. If you have additional systems in the house, it will be $65 for each additional system. We will be doing this maintenance through the end of March. That will include the coil cleaning, the drain line cleaning, all the checks that you've seen me do today, and verify the charge. Any repairs that would need to be made, we will recommend and give you the cost of those repairs. And if you do that maintenance, we will hold a 3-month warranty. If you have any issues with that system for the next 3 months, you will not incur another service charge or a labor charge. You will only have to pay for the parts. So give us a call today, get a maintenance scheduled for your air conditioning system.